So, this season is almost over. We're about to get a new map. We're about to get a new operator, new guns, and it's looking like this next season is going to be rather good. I think most of us can agree that the current season was a bit underwhelming. The Zero Dam map changes really didn't feel like much, and the new Barrett that they added in, it's really hard to be able to run that gun because you can't put the ammo in your safe box. On top of that, they kept Saeed in the game, which I find to be incredibly irritating. I don't enjoy fighting against Saeed. It's a frustrating experience all the way around. And I am still dumbfounded at the fact that they kept him in for 2 full seasons. I don't understand what they were thinking with that. I do think that Saeed would have been a little bit less frustrating if they had made him a solo only situation where you can go into regular Dam normal and play as Saeed by yourself, maybe lower the cost of going in as him. That would have been kind of fun and made it sort of interesting for people that tend to play by themselves anyways. Unfortunately, that's not what they did, and I'm just glad that it's almost over. But before the new season begins, I wanted to make a video and just sort of talk about what I've been thinking for the past couple weeks. As I've been playing the game, I've really been trying to figure out what do I think this game needs in order for it to be as enjoyable as possible, and what do I think are the biggest pain points that this game has at the moment. And I think I've come up with my list of things. I got 5 of them, and I'm going to share them with you guys. If you guys have other things that you think should be addressed, or you have any thoughts on what it is that I have to say in this video, consider dropping some comments. I would appreciate it. And let's get into it. Starting with number 1, this is a pain point that I think really bothers pretty much everybody that I've played with, and I don't understand why this hasn't been figured out. Gear compensation. This season, I've gotten a lot of report verifieds, which is good. It means that the anti-cheat is picking up when some weird stuff happens and those people are getting dealt with. The problem is I rarely get my gear back after getting a verified report. I know that there's a minimum amount of time that the player needs to be banned for you to get your gear back, but in my honest opinion, and in the opinion of pretty much everybody else that is tired of dying to nonsense, I just want my gear back. I don't care how long you ban the guy. I don't care if you ban him for 30 minutes. I don't care if you just force him offline. If there's something weird happening and I die to it, you can give me my gear back when you catch somebody, and it would make the entire experience much less frustrating for me and pretty much everybody else that I play with. Pain point number 2 is going to be based around the operators in the game. And I truly do think that what this game needs is to follow suit with every other game that has characters the way that this game does, every other hero shooter, if you will. We should not be allowed to stack the same operator on a team. You should get 1 per team for whatever operator it is. Every other game does that, and it's because they all know that balancing characters when you allow people to stack them is incredibly difficult. I understand that there's skins that you bought and blah blah blah, whatever else. I don't care. For the sake of the game being enjoyable, we need to stop allowing triple Senevas or double Senevas or double Lunas or double or triple Noxes, which I've been seeing a lot of this season, which is so annoying to go against. It would also make it a lot easier to decide how to balance people because you don't have to think about, well, what if the team runs multiple of this character? I think this is a mandatory thing, and I don't understand why they haven't done it yet. Maybe it's in the works. I haven't heard anything about it, but it's something that I do think would make the game feel at least quite a bit better, and every other game does this. So the fact that it hasn't been done yet is mind-boggling to me. Moving on to number 3, this one is one that I feel very strongly about, actually, and I know this is probably going to be the most controversial take that I have. I understand that, but I'm standing on it because this is how I feel, and I've thought about it pretty hard, and I really do believe that this needs to happen. Easy needs a rebalancing. Yet again, we did it once. We limited the ammo to blue and the armor to purple, and it helped. I really do think they need to take this 1 step further. What I think they should do is either limit the armor to blue armor and leave it at that, or create a gear value cap where you can run purple armor if you really feel like it, but then your gun's gonna have to be relatively cheap. The reason I say this is you can't have a game, especially a game like this, where it takes forever to drop somebody and also takes forever to get healed up. You have an injury system in this game, broken limbs, bleeds, all kinds of stuff going on. It's not as simple as just healing your health and being okay. So that means that trying to heal heal up takes quite a long time. In essentially every other extraction shooter that I've played, the time to heal is very long, but the time to kill is almost instant. In Easy's, it feels like it takes almost a dozen shots sometimes to kill people. This feels awful because in a situation where you need to win a 1v3 or a 1v2 or try to clutch up for your team, you shoot at somebody and they have a very solid opportunity to be able to turn around and at the bare minimum put damage down on you, which puts you in a situation where now you have to try to heal while his teammate is coming to support him. This makes 1v3s ironically harder in Easy's than they are in normal, which I don't understand why they would want that to be the case, considering that Easy is supposed to be a game mode that is for the newer players. At least that's where they all start. On top of this, right now the game has a problem where in Easy, you pretty much feel like if you aren't running blue ammo, you're essentially useless and there's no point in trying to fight anybody. Green ammo doesn't have a point in existing in this game at all, and white ammo is a joke and honestly is supposed to be a joke. In other extraction shooters, using cheaper ammo means that you have to try to aim for headshots and in particular shoot people in the face because that's the only way that you can get that one tap opportunity and make that ammo worth using. This game doesn't have that, so it just feels like you're fighting bullet sponges and it gets really annoying. On top of this, if you want to use budget guns of any sort, they're honestly worse in Easy than they are in normal. If I'm running an AKS and I'm trying to use that in Easy, it's a worse gun in Easy than it would be for me to run that same gun in normal with gold ammo in it. I would much rather have an AKS with gold in normal because I probably actually can drop some people with it. In Easy, it's going to feel like they're taking all the shots and I might as well just beat them with the gun because I'd have a better chance at actually putting them down like that. The amount of money that I feel like I have to spend to go into an Easy raid right now is disgusting, to say the least. I shouldn't feel like I need to run the same kit that I would run into normal to just go into Easy. And this leads me to pain point number 4, which is normal loot is atrocious. It used to be a lot better. I truly do think that once they put hard in the game and they decided that they were going to add a hard mode, that they nerfed the loot in normal to try to make room for hard mode to feel better. And this kind of sucks because the battle cost in normal right now is exceptionally high. You're running gold ammo if you really want to be at a competitive level. You're running at a minimum purple armor. You really need repair kits if you want to be able to take fights. By the time you're done kitting up, these kits are easily getting close to $1 million. And a lot of times almost double that. And your battle cost can very easily approach $500,000 if you're shooting gold ammo and getting into fights with players. When you're going through a raid and you get into fights, you loot players, you loot around the map, gather whatever you can, and when you get out, the amount of money that the game tells you you're making while you're in raid is not even anywhere near what it is you're actually going to make once you make it out and go back to the HQ. Most of the time, I find that it's almost half, which kind of sucks because my battle cost is approaching $500,000 and now that 1.5 that I'm making, quote unquote, ends up really being closer to like $1 million, and it sucks because now I really only made $500,000 off of that raid in profit, and I go into the next one, and if I go on a streak of a couple losses, it can be really annoying trying to get my money back up and not lose money. And a lot of times I find that even on decent nights, I'm basically breaking even by the time I'm done. If you buff the loot in normal, the hope is that it would minimize the amount of times that people feel like they need to play a super ratty playstyle, because if they don't, they're going to lose more money and they're already going broke. And it would also help to motivate teams to move around the map a little bit more, because there's a decent chance that if they get to a safe or a computer or a flight case, that the loot that's inside of it would be worth the risk of going out of their way to go there. Right now, it feels like it's almost not worth it to risk your life trying to loot, because most of the time you're not going to get anything of value out of any of the high value loot containers, and it leads to a playstyle where people really just kind of spawn somewhere and sit and wait and then rat around and move super slow and don't take any risk because it's not worth it. One thing I noticed during the Red Mandelbrick event that they did was the Red Mandelbrick gave really good loot. So people were going out of their way to try to get a hold of that, and it led to some really interesting engagements and some really fun fights because people wanted it. And I almost wish that that was a permanent event, because I wouldn't mind if they swapped between regular Mandelbricks and red Mandelbricks in between raids. It would shake up the meta quite a bit, and I think that the loot in normal is just severely underwhelming right now, and it's a part of the reason why the playstyle is so slow and boring the way that it is. The last pain point that I have here is going to be map specific, and there's two maps that I think need to be addressed. Number one is Space City. I think that the exfil situation on Space City is awful. This map feels like a battle royale. That's literally what it feels like. And that's not great for an extraction game. I'm supposed to be able to make the choice to get out if I want to. If I get good loot or I find a big red or something, I should be able to try to navigate my way out of the map. And the way Space City is, people like to sit where all the exfils are bunched on one side of the map and just wait for people to rotate into them. And this is not fun, because if you are a team that goes into the middle where all the loot is and starts fighting, and then you gotta leave, and this team decided to sit there for you, it leads to a really gross fight that's not really enjoyable, gets really annoying. If they win that, it feels really bad, and it just makes me not want to ever touch the map again. And if I'm the type of player that wants to like do a no bag exfil, I have to try to sneak my way past this team, and with all the recon going on and everything else, it can be quite annoying to try to do that. So I think that it would be incredibly beneficial for Space City to have an exfil somewhere on the other side of the map. It can be a dog tag exfil, it can be something to do with a quest, whatever it is, I don't really care, but just an option for me and my team to say, you know what, we don't want to deal with the Rocket team right now, or we don't want to deal with the team sitting on the bridge waiting for us to pull the switches. Let's just go this way and get out. I don't know why they haven't done that. They did an entire rework on the map and they just completely neglected that fact. I think if you can make Space City a little bit more enjoyable, it would be a map that a lot more people would be willing to play. I have a hard time wanting to play it right now, and it sucks because all the other changes they made were actually really good. The other map I think needs to be addressed, and this one I think is desperate, is Zero Dam. There's an entire section of the map, specifically near cement and the construction area and even the south side by cement. This whole place just does not feel good to navigate through. It doesn't feel good to spawn there. There's one spawn in this section where if you spawn here, you have to immediately worry about being held out from two different places, and it feels like you're kind of at a huge disadvantage if anybody spawned in the area. There's a spawn deep in the tunnel by barracks that is also equally as awful. I hate this spawn. You have to worry about bots if you're going to try to sneak into barracks, and that doesn't feel very good. Or you have to kick the door and just hope and pray that nobody's holding you. On top of this, even if none of those situations happen to you, just navigating around this area sucks. It's also not even really interesting. It's a bunch of construction materials that just got left laying around. And I was hoping when they said they were doing a rework of this map that they were going to sort of address this, maybe create something interesting or switch it up a little bit. And they just left it exactly the way it is. I don't understand it. These are my 5 points that I wanted to make. If you guys have any thoughts of your own, feel free to leave them down in the comments. I'm super stoked for the new season. Hopefully it's really good and we can all enjoy it. If you guys enjoy the video, consider dropping a like. I would appreciate it very, very much. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch y'all later. Peace, guys.